Hey, Zach. Just obviously, we've talked a lot about how you hadn't played a whole lot of basketball before you got to college, kind of relative to everyone else. But how have you adjusted not only to playing right away at this level, but also being in a situation where you're getting the ball as much as, Purdue wants to get you the ball, that kind of responsibility?
I mean, it's been great. The coaches really helped me get acclimatized. They've helped me progress as a player, like and off the court as well. So just being here gave me all the preparation I really needed over the summer. Going against great guys like Trey, going and just competing every day has really helped me like becoming better on the court. But yeah.
What was the biggest adjustment to going to a role where you're kind of being featured offensively too? You're carrying a lot of, responsibility within what your team's doing, if anything.
I mean, I think it really started in practice. Like, obviously, the team wouldn't just give me all the touches, like, just because of the system. I've earned those touches and proved that in practice. And then going to the games, it's just really like another big practice. So,
Right. You're also in a position too where you can be such a mismatch. You're going to see all sorts of different stuff from defenses, double teams, triple teams, a lot of contact. Just have you had to kind of change on the fly in terms of how you play as you've gotten from game one to like game 5 or 6 or whatever?
for sure, I've learned something from every game I've played in. Kind of trying to keep the ball high, deal with the double teams, try not to dribble as much until I know there's no double team or triple team coming. Stuff like that has really helped me.
Right. Do you still feel like you're in the phase of your career where you're kind of learning something new every day here?
For sure, I have a long way to go. I'm not anywhere near a finished product by any means. So much more to learn, so much more room to grow.
Have you surprised yourself at all with how productive you've been able to be under those circumstances that you're such a work in progress as a player still?
Um, That's a good question. A little bit sometimes. Like, I wasn't expecting going into the season to get all the touches I'm getting. I wasn't expecting to do all this, but it's been working great. So
Have you had to acclimate more on offense or defense?
defense for sure. Just the pace of the guards, the skills of the guards has been a big adjustment for me.
Right. What do you expect Big Ten play to be like?
Just on another level, same basketball game obviously, but they're obviously a lot more skilled, a lot tougher, a lot stronger, faster. Like, everything's just gonna be a lot better.
Right. When Purdue had Isaac Haas, there were a lot of situations where, it didn't seem like the refs knew quite what to do with them. There were situations where sometimes you can get penalized just for being big when your elbows are where everyone else's heads are, things like that. Have you had to acclimate or adjust or anything like that to any of that stuff in terms of the way games are called or just the sheer realities of the mismatches?
For sure. It's been it's a thing obviously you've seen in the games. I've gotten into foul trouble because of the elbows and stuff like that. But working in practice, I've been able to practice like posting up without using my like arms or anything. I think I've made some good steps in that regard.
One last question for me. How did you become such a good free throw shooter? Ordinarily, when guys are big, that's an area where they struggle in, probably because their hands are so big, but just how did you become such a good free throw shooter?
I think a lot of it came from baseball actually. Since I was a pitcher, you always have that the last two
Oh, yeah.
fingers. You always have a lot of control with them. So shooting a basketball, throwing a baseball, although they're obviously completely different sizes, it's still the last two fingers that you use
Right.
to control the ball and where it goes. So obviously I still have a lot of work. Still want to get better at free throw shooting.
Yeah.
But that's been really like a big key in helping me learn the free throw as quickly as I have.
I'm good. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.
Mike Carmen?
Hey, Zach, just how much has the film study after practice, after games, maybe sped up your progress a little bit? And what are you gathering from seeing yourself on film and what the coaches are telling you?
I mean, everyone learns different. I think I'm more of a visual learner, so being able to watch myself, see the mistakes I've made, see what I'm doing wrong, and being able to fix that has really helped me.
How much is just that having that tool to see your progress? How much has that maybe helped your confidence or really showed you the areas where you can avoid mistakes or even maybe improve on some things?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, like when you're going through practice, you make a mistake. You think like everyone sees it. You think it's such a big deal, but when you watch it on film, you realize it's not that. Like obviously, you made a mistake, but it's not that big of a deal, and it helps you while you're playing to keep your head in the game, not worry about mistakes that you're making, for example, and just be able to keep playing through it.
How do you not allow the foul situations to become a frustrating part of your game?
I've been dealing with the too tall, like fouls, penalties all my life. In hockey, when I used to like make a hit or I used to do certain things, I would get called for it just because it looks so weird, because I'm so much taller than everyone. So I've been learning to deal with it. It was something that I had to learn, obviously, when I was younger playing hockey. It was a big frustrator for me when I first started playing. But being able to move past it and not let it phase me is something that's really important. Because if you let it get in your head, then it's just a double negative, because you get the foul and then you play worse.
So that you don't feel, oh, I'm sorry, you don't feel like the fouls are affecting your confidence at all?
No, if it affects my confidence, then that's a whole new set of problems.
And just how much has Trevion maybe help guide you through these first 6 games and giving you tips or just kind of helping you maneuver what's happening right now?
I mean, Trey's been great. I couldn't have asked for a better mentor. He's always in practice, like pulling me aside, giving me tips, giving me pointers in the games, trying to make sure I keep my head up, keeping my head in the game, trying to make sure that I'm performing my best all the time. So Trey's been a great mentor. Couldn't have asked for a better one.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else for Zach? Last chance.
I got one real quick,
Yep.
Chris.
Go ahead, Dakota.
Zach, obviously you're about to enter your first Big Ten game, and you mentioned Trey's kind of mentorship to you. What is he and some of the older guys on the team told you about how conference play differs from a non-conference schedule and the talent in the Big Ten and things of that nature?
I mean, they haven't said like explicitly things, but obviously it's a tougher league. The coaches really harped on that. Like the refs will let fouls go. They'll let you play through a lot of contact, and it's just a very tough league. The guards are very skilled. It's probably the best conference in the country. So just, the pace of play and the quality of play will be a lot higher than we've seen so far.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Zach.